Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 78, and today we're returning with the penultimate episode of the season as we play our final two Premier League games away against Southampton and Manchester City, respectively, with an outside shot of reaching the top four. Of course, you missed the last episode. You were seeing, you wouldn't have seen our 2-0 victory in the semi-final second leg against Manchester United, which put us through to the Europa League final, coming in the season finale. That's, of course, out tomorrow, and then, of course, our 1-1 draw at home to Arsenal, where we almost claimed our first victory against the Gunners in the series until late on. They snatched an equaliser, and due to that, it does mean with 2 games to go, we're still on the outside looking in with 4 points behind the Gunners. Manchester United have basically done it now. They're going to finish in the top 4. Arsenal are the only team we can realistically catch, and due to the fact we have the game in hand, if we win this game, we'll put the pressure on them and reduce the gap to just 1 point heading to the final day. But with Man City away going for the title on the final day, it's highly unlikely we'll sneak in. But I thought I'd come back anyway, just in case the impossible happens and we qualify for the Champions League today. Anyway, first game Southampton, they've got absolutely nothing to play for, so hopefully we'll get the win and get the 3 points and put the pressure on, keep the pressure on Arsenal with 1 game to go. So for our lineup for the game, going to go back to our normal first team in the 4-2-3-1 system. Of course, field a weakened side against Arsenal due to the game coming just 2 days after our win over Manchester United, and this will be our team for the game. This is the last time we'll see these boys between now and the Europa League final, so a chance for them to show us what they're all about. We've got Pekovic in goal, about for retirement, Allsop, Ferencik and Ranieri, with Paolo and McKennie our CMs. The attacking midfield trio, I love this trio, so deadly. Louise on left, Webster on the right, and O'Reilly advanced playmaker supporting Julian Benker, our top scorer this season. And on the bench, Lunin, Maori, Bree, Dobby Pingu, Marek and Redinaldo. So first game, it's Southampton, penultimate game of the season. Let's put the pressure on. Come on. Most important thing for me, really, is making sure none of my players get injured. I just want to make sure that no one gets a knock ahead of the Europa League final. It's going to be the biggest game of the series, not only a chance to win our first piece of European silverware, but also, of course, a chance to qualify for the Champions League for the first time in the series. Without question, biggest game of the series. We need all of our players fit for it, and thus obviously winning this game would be nice, but it's not mandatory, if you will. Southampton the first chance of the game, shot just over the bar, and still 0-0. But of course, we don't want to put the pressure on. We want to have at least a chance heading to the final day, so I shouldn't really say that. It is mandatory we win. First highlight for us will fall 17 minutes in. McKennie to O'Reilly dispossessed, but McKennie gets it straight back and finds Benker. And Julian plays a lovely ball inside to Clinton Webster, and there is the first goal of the game. And it's Clinton with the finish. 17 minutes in, we have the breakthrough. And again, if we can just put the pressure on heading to the final day, we don't expect the impossible to happen, and for Arsenal to lose to West Ham at home and us to beat City away. But you just never know. Webster with a great finish there, but it was a lovely ball by Benker, who this season, despite being our top scorer with over 30 goals, has actually chipped in with quite a lot of assists as well. Lovely through ball, great finish, 1-0, great start. And another highlight falling 2 minutes afterwards with Webster on the ball, getting away from his man but then losing it, but Luis is first to win it back for us. As the Brazilian gives it him straight back, Webster gets round 1, gets round 2. Now can he cross? He can indeed, and there's Benker, and he repaid the favour there, but Julian kinked his head down, so still 1-0. Golden chance to go 2 goals up, and hopefully, unlike against Arsenal, we won't rue these missed chances. As Manchester United are in front against Liverpool as well. I think I'm right in thinking if we win this game, then we can't finish any lower than 5th heading into the final day, which again is kind of irrelevant now because we won the Carabao Cup this season to guarantee qualification for the Europa League, but we'd still like to finish there regardless, and that'll mean we'll go straight to the group stage for next season if we miss out of qualification for the Champions League. Another good chance there as well. Webster was sent through, but the shot was tame, straight at the goalkeeper, still 1-0. And against Arsenal, if you remember the last game, we had a lot of chances in the first half. We took one of them, but in the end it wasn't enough. Might well be deja vu here at St Mary's. Because there is a highlight for our host. Daum on the ball finds Callum Slattery, and he'll play it back down left hand side towards Gomez, who crosses, and there is Slattery with the finish, and the Saints level it up. So right on cue, it's deja vu. Southampton get the equaliser. Angel Gomez, the talented youngster, with a lovely cross down left hand side, and Slattery, who had the ball there about 25 yards from goal, just bombed into the area. 3 blue shirts, everyone left him. It was totally unmarked, and Petkovic couldn't keep it out. So 1-1, Saints back on level terms. Pretty atrocious marking, to be honest. Chance to respond just before the break though and get back in front. Weston McKennie on the ball, plays it back towards Josh Tyman. I don't want to slip up in the penultimate game of the season. I want to have at least a chance heading into the final day of finishing in 4th. Webster crosses, Benker's there, and there is the response. And this time Clinton does get the favour repaid as Benker does head in the assist and get the goal to put us back in front. So lovely work by Clinton Webster, and a goal and assist for both of the goal scorers today as we restore our lead directly after conceding it. Webster down the right, lovely touch to beat his man. Great cross to the middle. Benker goes in unmarked, heads it home. 2-1, back in front. So second half begins, still leading by a goal, but a highlight 3 minutes after the restart will come to the Saints with Slattery, the goal scorer on the ball, shooting, or was that a cross or a shot? I'm not entirely sure. But it found Angel Gomez, and just like with our goal scorers, they've got the assist as well. Their goal scorers got an assist each as well. Gomez with the finish repays Callum Slattery, and it's 2-2. So Sidibe's throw to Højbjerg, and that was just such a simple goal to concede. Slattery took a touch. Was that a shot or a cross? I don't know. But it blocked and fell to Gomez. He puts it home. It's 2-2, and twice today we surrendered leads here on the South Coast. So from 1-0 up to 1-1, from 2-1 up to 2-2. Now let's get back in front and not throw it away this time. Come on. So it's all about repaying the favour tonight then. Teammates helping each other out as we're still tied at 2-2. I don't think it'll finish as a draw this game though. I think someone is going to win it. It's been quite a balanced affair. Could go either way. Matt O'Reilly on the ball, looking for a teammate, and he'll slide it through to Luis down the left-hand side. He'll cross to the middle eventually. O'Reilly control, shoots. Oh, just over the bar from Matt. And behind for a goal kick. Can someone win this game later on? Again, for Southampton, this game means nothing. But for us, if we are to have any chance of finishing in fourth on the final day, we've got to find a winner. So we are deep into stoppage time as that header goes just wide. And the Saints almost hit the 3 points. And in the end, it's going to finish as a draw. And that's not really going to be enough for us. A draw away at St Mary's, a disappointing result. And if we were to have any chance of finishing in fourth place, we had to win this game. Because mathematically, we still could make it with a win away at the Etihad and Arsenal losing at home to West Ham, but that is highly unlikely, and it looks like we're guaranteed to finish in fifth then, or we could actually drop down to sixth. Who Everton got on the final day? They have got Norwich away, who themselves are trying to keep themselves up from relegation. So yeah, fifth or sixth will be our final finish then. It's not going to be fourth now. We have to win and hope Arsenal lose. That won't happen, but you never know. It's still possible. We'll have a go regardless and see if we can pull off the impossible. So it's going to be a bit of an anticlimactic end to the season then, unfortunately. But to be fair, that is sort of what I expected. You know, even if we won that game, we still had to at least get a draw at the Etihad, and Arsenal would need to lose. If they won on the final day, which again is at home to West Ham, there's nothing we can do anyway. So it was highly unlikely we were going to have a realistic chance anyway of finishing fourth. But either way, it's a shame we couldn't have at least put the pressure on until the final day, because that's twice now we surrendered leads in our last 2 games. Of course, winning that game against Arsenal would be massive, cutting the gap to 1 point and having the game in hand. Now we've done that and then got that draw there, we would have been in fourth heading into the final day. And obviously as well, to have thrown away 2 leads on 2 separate occasions against Southampton as well, a bit disappointing. So we'll play the final day. Again, you never know, there's still a chance, but I don't think so now. And Enzo has just scored another 2 goals in the Bundesliga for Schalke. He's one of the leading scorers there right now at the Veltins Arena. 19 in 24 plus 5 assists as well. I'm gutted that we're losing this guy on a free transfer heading into next season. So I offered him a contract, but he didn't want to stay. And that's not a surprise, really, because he's not really being used that much here. He's going to Real Betis next year on a free, and he's been absolutely brilliant. He's also made France's preliminary World Cup squad for 2026 as well. And of course, I will let you know what goes on in the competition over the summer. But that's gutting he wouldn't stay with us, because I'd love to have Enzo back next season as a different option. He could have been alright, but sadly it's not to be. But anyway, second and final game today is going to be the final game of the season. We're away at the Etihad Stadium against Manchester City, and again, it's a bit of not a meaningless game, because there is still a possibility we could win and we could finish in fourth, but it is highly unlikely. With Arsenal at home to West Ham, they've got nothing to play for. That should most likely be a banker at the Emirates Stadium, and therefore it doesn't matter what we do. We can win this game 66-0. If they win, then it's all over, and we won't finish there. So yeah, not much to decide on the final day. Arsenal going for fourth. Again, a point will be enough for them. And as for the bottom 3 right now, Huddersfield are down, Sheffield Wednesday are down, but West Brom could still climb out of the relegation zone. Norwich and Aston Villa are the teams who aren't safe yet, but Spurs have mathematically guaranteed it heading in to the final day. So here we go then. It's Man City away, and let's see what happens on the final day of the Premier League season. So it's a bit of a farewell for a few players today that we won't see again next season, because they'll be leaving the club. Obviously, Lunin is one of those in our 4-2-4. He's leaving the club. It's his final appearance for the club. Pingu, Maori, Benjamin, who's also leaving, and Bree might leave as well. Koulibaly out of contract in the summer, he might leave too. Dobby, Mane's leaving at the end of the season. Menji on the right, who might leave as well. Redinaldo, who might leave as well. And Meret, the club captain, Kuchar. That's our first 11. And on the bench, Woodman, who might leave. Ferinček, who's staying, of course. Ahumada is leaving. Paolo, Luis, O'Connell, and John Black as well. So final game of the season. I'm not expecting much. It's a chance for these players to prove they deserve some minutes in the Europa League final. I'd like us to win, but I'm pretty sure we lose. The season's over, really. it's the most anticlimactic ending to a season, really, isn't it? Like, seriously, I was sitting there thinking, how can I big today's episode up? You know, it's the final 2 games of the Premier League season. We still have a chance to qualify for the Champions League. Normally that's enough, but it's the fact that we haven't been able to make up the point deficit, and due to the fact that Arsenal are home to West Ham, it's almost meaningless, really, because there's nobody going to slip up here. And as Zivkovic fires a free kick off the bar, City almost went in front. Again, they're going for the title, lest we forget. There's no way we win this game. And there we go, Arsenal have gone a goal in front against West Ham. Alexander Isak with a finish makes it 1-0. And whilst we're still holding on to a very credible clean sheet and draw here away at the Etihad Stadium, it's going to mean the result means absolutely nothing, as Arsenal are going to get the win regardless. So it seems like we're going to finish in 5th. Norwich have gone 2-1 up against Everton. And again, whilst we have guaranteed a place in next year's next year's Europa League by winning the Carabao Cup, we would like to finish 5th regardless, because that is the automatic Europa League spot in the Premier League. And that was our aim heading into the season as well, domestically this year. So we'd like that. As Burr crosses and De Bruyne heads the ball onto the top of the crossbar. Still 0-0 though. And I've got to say, if we can keep a clean sheet on the final day, you know, it doesn't mean anything, but I'll still be pleased with it. Norwich are now 3-2 up on Everton. Ryan Brewster with the goal has restored Norwich's lead there. But it's still goalless here, but for how much longer, I wonder, as Andre Horta chases down that loose ball and beats Dobby to it. And gets away from the Romanian before finding Sanchez. Sanchez into Winterbottom, a new gen/regen English centre-half I've had my eye on for a while. Now Burr towards Zivkovic, back towards Andre Horta. As City look for an opening, and Kevin De Bruyne normally finds it for them. He's found Maiga, who crosses. Zivkovic is there, and there is the first goal. And it was coming. They've been the better team this afternoon, and the team that will definitely end up being champions now have gone a goal up and have finally got the breakthrough as well. It was a nicely worked move there. Zivkovic back towards Andre Horta, and when De Bruyne gets on the ball and you give him a little bit of space just outside the area, he's either going to find the back of the net or find a teammate. He found the latter. That was a great cross by Maiga to the far post. Zivkovic would finish 1-0 City. So final chance again is going to fall to Manchester City, and they've doubled their lead in stoppage time as well, and it really is party time now. Milinkovic-Savic with the goal. They've doubled their lead. Kane off the bench gets the assist, and that is that. Manchester City are champions. Lovely counter-attack that as well. Played down the right-hand side to Kane. And a nice ball across to Milinkovic-Savic with the finish into the inside the far post makes it 2-0. So that's going to do it then. It's going to be a 5th place finish for Millwall. That was pretty much going to be guaranteed anyway before the episode even started. And that still means that we do finish in the only automatic Europa League spot in the Premier League, which is what the board wanted. They asked to qualify for the Europa League in the Premier League. We've done that. And of course that means as well that we won't have any qualification rounds next season in the Europa League. We'll go straight in to the group stages. So yep, that's fair enough. You know, like we still got a chance. That's the Europa League final against Bilbao. Win that, and we finish in the Champions League place for next season. But it was highly doubtful we were going to have any chance of toppling City on the final day anyway. It was highly doubtful Arsenal were going to lose to West Ham on the final day. Thus, I'm not really too disappointed. So a 2-0 loss, I'll say. I can't fault any of your performances. It's just one of those days. Most players are relaxed, and that sees them motivated and getting confidence as well. Fair enough. And it's a bit of a somber way to end the season, really. It was a very anticlimactic one. But, you know, to have not won any of our last, was it 4 Premier League games? I think it was our last 4 Premier League games we failed to win. It was definitely 3. Yeah, it was our last 4. 1-1 against Watford, 1-1 against Arsenal, 2-2 against Southampton. Do you know what? We only won one of our last 7, or is it 6 Premier League games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We won one of our last 7 Premier League games. Wow, that is an abysmal end to the campaign. And that is indeed why we end up finishing outside the top 4. So the Premier League table finishes like this then. City are indeed champions of the Premier League with Chelsea United and Arsenal rounding up the top 4. As for the Europa League place, that's us, Liverpool and Everton as well. And the teams that were relegated in the end were West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield. So it was the same bottom 3 and top 4 as it was heading into the final day as well. So Spurs, who had an abysmal start to the season, managed to keep their heads above water. That was a really interesting storyline this season to see what happened to Spurs. They clawed their way out of it, and once they got saved, they didn't look back. And as for us, it's gutting to know we're in the top 4 for such a long period of time, but once we dropped out of it, we just couldn't get back in it. But either way, a good season regardless. Still a good season. Although Menji and Luiz are not one bit happy, because I said we'd qualify for the Champions League this season, and we haven't done that. However, lads, it's not over yet. It's not over yet, lads. There is still a chance we could make it if we win the Europa League. So on Wednesday night against Bilbao, turn up in Austria, get us the trophy, and we will qualify for the Champions League. Just give it another few days, that's all I'm saying. And of course, finishing in 5th is now a record high for the Lions as well. Past 2 seasons we finished in 7th place. and it's bitterly disappointing to miss out on the top 4 as well, to have been in there for such a long period of time, to accumulate 69 points on the board, only losing 7 times in the entire season, but it's still not enough for us to sneak into the Champions League places. That just goes to show you how difficult it is to break into the top 4 in the Premier League when you're doing an RTG save. There's so many big teams you've got to outmuscle, and also there are young and up and coming teams as well you've got to face as well. It's been a good season though. You know, the board wanted us to finish in the top 5. That's what we did, so they're happy with our league finish, and so am I. Yes, of course, the blow at the end, a bit of a shame, but it's still been a good season, and hopefully we'll end strong with the Europa League final coming on Wednesday, and of course it comes out tomorrow, and that's the season finale. We are the favourites for the final as well in Austria too. Bilbao this season finished in 8th place in La Liga. Mancini is their manager, interestingly enough. He's been there since 2019. He's been there for 7 years now, and they've got some really good players as well. Obviously, Bilbao have a Basque-only policy. It's really intriguing seeing what they do with that as the years go by in FM, having to develop young talent from the region too. And they've got some really, really awesome players as well. So we might be the favourites for the final, but I think it's going to be quite an even match. They've got some very good players. This is a midfielder that looks very good indeed. Some very good stats on this guy mentally. Very good at just 23 years old. There's an attacking midfielder who's a wonder kid. There he is right there. I've been looking at this guy before. Koldo Laranaga. He's got some incredible stats. Described as a wonder kid. Mentally not bad. Physically not terrible. He's only 5'1", but technically he's got some incredible stats at just 19. Dribbling 16, first touch 18, passing 16, technique 14 as well. So yeah, some very, very good players, and we might have the slightly better team. But I'd say it's quite balanced, really. I think the Europa League final, despite us being considered favourites, could go either way, and it's going to be a very even match. So, thanks for watching the penultimate episode of the season, guys. We hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy the final 2 games of the Premier League season, then please do drop a like, as likes are, of course, very much appreciated. And you're allowed channel as well. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you for the season finale, the Europa League final, our first ever European final, and I would say the biggest episode of the series as we try and qualify for the Champions League for the first time in the series as well. Much love, have a great evening, and I'll see you for the season finale very soon. Bye.